is you need to segment your market. And segmentation is really good to positioning. In fact, if you don't segment the market, you're not really positioning it at all. So you need to segment the market, and that's because not everybody wants what you're selling. So how do you segment a market? This is really kind of the first thing to start thinking about. So I went to a Forrester conference about 5 months ago, and I was really interested because one of the four analysts was going to talk about segmentation. This was exactly what they put up here. They said basically, here's 25 different ways to segment the market. You figure it out. And now you're left there saying, okay, what do I do? Do I do it on industry? Do I do it on company size? Maybe I should do it on profitability. Maybe I should do it types of offerings. And this is why marketers get really confused. You're in B2B. If you're in B2C, these are the different ways that you can segment a market, right? So you can do it through geographic or demographics or psychographic or behavioral or media or time segmentation. So these people are really confused. So I want to make your life really easy, okay? And how can I make your life really easy? If you think back to, you've probably seen Theodore Levitt talk about this. People don't want to buy a quarter-inch drill, they want a quarter-inch hole. That's what he said. In fact, he said something even more, I think, relevant to people who drive cars. Let's start at the beginning, the customer. It can be shown that motorists strongly dislike the bother, delay, and experiences of buying gasoline. Do you all like buying gasoline? You look like, oh boy, I get to go buy gasoline. People actually do not buy gasoline. What they buy is the right to continue driving their cars. And what really Theodore Levitt, who unfortunately died a number of years ago, he's a major management theorist at Harvard. And he talked about how a lot of companies who didn't understand what this was going through, a lot of companies disappeared, industries disappeared. He was the one who wrote about marketing myopia, where the buggy whip industry kind of took over, was taken over by the motorized vehicles. Well, people all see this and they go, that's nice, but then they go off and they segment a market by geographic or verticals and all of that. So some people, especially in B2B, say, look, I really want pain. I want to find out what pain is. Customers don't. Do you know any customers who want pain? They go, wow, I'd really like more pain in my life. No, that's not the way to think about what's going on in the market. What you're looking for are the benefits. So let's talk about what customers really want and what kind of benefits actually exist. There's actually 3 types of categories of benefits in the market. The first one, and I think this is probably more relevant to all of you in B2B, because it tends to be more functional benefits. These are benefits that solve a current problem, or prevent a potential problem, or resolve conflict, or restructuring a frustrating situation. But in other markets, symbolic benefits are benefits that are associated with the individual or a desired group or even a role or a self-image. And then there's experiential benefits that provide sensory pleasure, variety, and or cognitive pleasure. The brands that you really like, for example, the ones that you really admire, provide all 3 of these. For example, the iPhone. When it first came out, it had all 3 of these kinds of benefits, which is why the iPhone just kind of exploded and took off. But as I say, in B2B markets, it tends to be a little bit more on the functional benefits. So I'll give you some examples of functional benefits. A benefit would be it's reliable. It's something that I would get. You as a customer would say, wow, it doesn't break down and cause problems. And so this is something that solves a problem or conserves resources. Okay? Another one is it's easy to install. And I guess I'm using these words for install because I've done a lot of consulting with big technology companies, and they're trying to sell to customers where one of the problems is how do I install this thing? Well, if it's easy to install, it doesn't make time to get up, and as a result, it conserves resources.